Good morning, Ian. How are you?
Hello, Chulai. I'm good.
Hello.
How are you?
Marvelous. Marvelous. The sun is shining
It is. Yes, it is here in reality,
in reality, in real world.
not just in the background behind us for those who are watching. It's
And the yes,
on the
whatever
visual means. Yeah.
visual means here. But yeah, the sun is shining. It's nice. We are talking again. That's a nice thing. Not that we were never
Yes.
not talking, but
No, we're not. No, we haven't had a bust up or a fallout or
or
anything.
no,
No,
no, no. It sounded
we're
like that,
still
but no,
talking
we're still talking
after 3 years,
after 3 years.
three and a
Yeah.
half years, more than
Yes.
3.5 years actually. It's more. It
Actually,
is. It's
yes, it
closer
has.
to 4 years than 3 years since
That's
we've been
true.
having these inspirational conversations, as I
Mm.
guess we used to think of them. That's evolved into
A
a
podcast.
podcast of more than 100 episodes,
Yes,
which
and on
we
that
have
note,
just.
actually,
Oh yes,
I want to take a moment to thank all the listeners so far for making this last month um, our highest download month ever,
right.
like ever. Even our highest month before ever is three times more than that, and it's just
Oh
like
wow.
I'm trying to
So suddenly,
articulate this. Suddenly, it's just this huge boost of listeners. So basically, we had the third of our downloads, the full time third of our whole time downloads just in this last month, which is amazing. Can you
well,
imagine?
that's a bit mind blowing. Well, welcome everybody.
Yes,
Stay with us. Tell your friends, and that's going to just be what they call exponential, isn't it? Because we've
that
got
is
more
right.
people
Yeah,
telling more people,
more
which is more
people.
people, which is going to be more and more and more and more, and it's just going to
Yes.
grow. We hope, and we're here to help people, inspire people, to lift people from where
Mm.
they are, where they want to be, and
Yes.
that's what it's all about, really.
That is, and it isn't, like you said, very perfectly put, not just for our entertainment, and it isn't for our entertainment, although we
Make it
do,
as entertaining a little bit, why
yes,
not?
we
It's
do
we're
we
in the
do
right
love
medium for
talking
that.
to each other every week and having these conversations, but of course, it is great value for everybody who's listening. Hence, more and more people are coming to listen now, and thank you for those who have listened. I would really ask right now to leave a beautiful review and a rating on Apple Podcasts. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, that would really help elevate this podcast even more, which means we together can help even more people. So that would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just to add to that, if you're listening via the Puritans radio side of things,
Mm.
then again, there's a place where you can add comments, and I guess there must be something also on the visual channel as well, Tulay,
Yeah.
that people
Yes.
can add. So we would like to.
Absolutely.
We have had some really lovely reviews that have confirmed
Yeah.
that we are having the impact that we desire,
Yes.
and that we intend to have.
Yeah.
So it's good feedback. It is good for us to hear as well. We do like to. We don't just do it for the glow of getting a good feedback, but we do like to know that
Mm. It's
if you do
helping some.
something, you kind of like to know the result. We don't always know the result. I mean, I'm sure there are lots of people out there that will never ever know exactly how we've helped them, or if we've just been the
Mm.
right thing at the right time for them.
Yeah.
We'll probably never know about it. They don't have to tell us.
Mm.
The important thing is that we've helped them and that they've moved
Yeah,
forward.
yeah, it is. But it also
That's the
saying
important.
it and leaving a review will help other people because unfortunately everybody is under the illusion that they are suffering on their own. They are the
Ah,
only ones who have this problem, but it
point.
isn't. What is
Yeah.
it's a common problem. Most people have the same problem in a different context, of course, but
Mm.
it is the same sort of problems, and all these talks will help them. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming here time and time again, and please leave a review so we can help more people together.
Brilliant. We
Yeah,
look forward to it. Yeah, let's have
indeed.
another big month.
Yes, indeed. And talking of that, you were saying earlier,
Yeah.
what is the gap between what is it? What you said something.
Well, I
What
was
was that?
talking about taking people from where
Ah,
they are to lift them up to be, where they
okay.
want to be,
Uh-huh.
really.
That's it. That was it. And that was, in fact, the topic of today's conversation.
There you go.
There you go.
Unplanned again.
Unplanned again.
we're on
We are
the wave here. It must be the bridge
synchronized.
behind us.
Exactly. We are synchronized for sure.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we had alluded to this again before many times. There's always, we always strive for something better, something bigger, something longer, something whatever, you know. It's always bigger than where we are right now. And
yeah.
we always create this. This is where we are. This is where we want to be. And there's this gap in between. There's got to be a bridge. Here's the bridge from where we are.
That is brilliant. For anybody watching, you are holding your hands just in the right place. I can't probably do this. I'm trying to replicate it for those who are watching. But from here to here on the bridge.
On
the
the
bridge.
That's the bridge. But what does the bridge represent? This is what we need to talk about today. You know, people say, oh, I want to get that job, or I want to be a better version of myself. I want to lose weight. I want to, I don't know, get a better job, whatever it is, you know, that you want right now. We always want to be where we are not more often than not.
Well, that's it. Yeah. It's always just around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, next year I'll be okay.
Yeah, but there's always this illusion, or there is this desire, let's say, to be a better than where we are right now, which is fine, because we are
it
here
is
to
fine,
evolve.
absolutely, yes. Nothing wrong with that at all, absolutely.
We are here to evolve and grow and be a better version of ourselves. And yesterday I asked this question, and I often ask, do you want to how would you like to create a life that you love, so that you don't have to do the things that you hate anymore? And 90% of people says, yeah, fine, come on, hell yes, of course, let's do this, whatever. But when it comes to actually making it happen, there's one thing missing.
Okay.
And what is that? We've talked about it a couple of weeks ago. That
intention.
Intention is one thing, and we will delve into that.
All right.
The bridge between what you want and where you are versus where you want to be is commitment.
Okay, yes, we have mentioned this before. It's a word that leaves a nasty taste in our mouth. It's like discipline, commitment.
Yes. Well,
routine.
It leaves a nasty taste because of the misinterpretation of the word, because of the misconception and the beliefs that we've placed on it.
Right, so it doesn't have to be as bad as it sounds then.
No, it isn't.
I'd say,
well, it depends, isn't it? Let's say, the thing is, people, we are always committed to something, Ian. And let's talk about it. What are we committed to right now? If you are, let's say, don't have a job, don't do whatever, you know, you're not losing your weight, or you're not where you want to be in life in any shape or form. You constantly complain, you blame others, you don't take any action, you're sitting around all day blaming others and complaining about things.
You accept you're in the situation, nothing I can do about it, it's everybody else's fault. I'm finished. This is what life's all about. Life's hard, it's rubbish, it's nonsense, I can't do anything about it.
So what is this person committed to?
Sitting on the nail and staying there, I suppose.
Well, there's the metaphor for it, but what is he really committed to in real terms right now?
Nothing at all, I suppose.
No, he's committed to something. He's committed to his excuses.
To what he's missed. Oh, excuses. I was just say what he's missing, maybe, or what he or she is missing. But excuses. Okay, making excuses. Yeah.
He's committed to excuses. He's committed to being a victim, and she or he is committed to struggling in that situation. Just yesterday, my brother was talking about somebody that he knows, goes to a therapist every week and talks about his problems, but he's exactly where he is. There's nothing pathologically wrong with him as such. It's fine. You can talk about your problems, but constantly talking about your problems aren't going to solve them.
It's really interesting. You know, you said, what's the word? The word commit. How you're saying that we're committed to our excuses. We're committed to our misery, to our the fact that we've given up and we can't do it, we're committed to not being able to do anything about it. I mean, that's that's just not the context that we hear that word said, is it? But that's
No.
so key, isn't it?
It is so key.
making a
Let's delve into it a bit more. How are you committed to that? You're committed because you're continuously complaining still. You're not doing anything different. You're committed because you're very quick at looking at what other people did or didn't do for you to have that result. And you're committed because you're still there. You're still staying there. And instead of seeing that you have to do something different and doing something different, you're still there.
Right.
So that's commitment.
It is, yeah. So that makes sense of what you said about we're always committed to something.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing here, let's get committed to the right things that are going to take us where we want to go.
Exactly. There is that. So the bridge, this is why the bridge between where we are and where we want to be is the commitment. But what sort of commitment and what do we need to commit to? And here it is. This is again yet another dimension of this thing, is that some people are, yes, they do want to make that change. Yes, they have decided that they are going to make that change, but unconsciously and subconsciously, they are still committed to their past. They're committed to their past identity without knowing, without realizing, and just by a very means of habit, lifetime of a habit, they're committed to that old identity. Well, and that old identity keeps them where they are. And what it is, because they then, their excuses then become is that what is other people going to think? How will they judge me? What will they think of me? What will they say? And then this is the funny thing about this. Everybody thinks that, right?
Yes, so, I've got you. Yeah.
So if I'm thinking, what is other people going to think of me? Yes. I haven't got the headspace to think about you and what you're doing, what you're not doing. Do you see what I mean? Everybody's too busy thinking about other people that they're not going to think about you.
Somebody said that to me years ago. They said, if you're uncomfortable standing in a queue or whatever because you think people are looking at you and, looking at what you're wearing and, putting you down because you look stupid or whatever. They're not doing that because they're too busy having the same worrying thoughts about themselves and that other people are doing the same to them. So actually, you're fine. Nobody's taking any notice of you. Nobody cares. No,
everybody only cares about themselves and what other people think about them.
Yes.
So they're not going to care about that. And so what if they do? Are they paying your bills? Are they living in your shoes? Are they living your life? No. So, and even if they care for a small split second, they're going to stop caring the moment something else happens.
That's right. Yeah. The 20 seconds later.
Yeah.
It's changed. They're eating their chips off the news of old.
That's right, exactly. So that's another commitment to the external world. And why that happens is because we believe the solutions are outside of ourselves.
Yes,
just the example that I gave you earlier, the person who keeps going to the therapist even though he doesn't actually need to go to the therapist, because he's looking for the solution outside of himself. Might be because he doesn't trust himself to have the solution, or he's not aware that he has the solution already, and he's not even aware he's creating the problem in the first place. There's another one.
That's big. Yeah. That's big. It reminds me of another saying, actually, that somebody said to me, you feel imprisoned, but you yourself are the jailer. You're holding the keys to the cell that you're locking yourself into. And absolutely, I'm thinking, this is good. This is good theory. This is somebody swallowed a psychology book here and regurgitated it. But, actually, we do need to just take it a bit seriously if we really want to get somewhere and want to make a difference and want to stop this rubbish that we're experiencing. I'm going to call it, that's a deliberate word, rubbish. It's not because I can't think of another word. It is rubbish if you have to just keep going around that silly cycle all the time. For goodness sake, you are worth more than that. You're born here. Let's start living, folks.
Yeah. The thing is also, there is no judgment on this expression that you just used, because we are all in the same rubbish way of thinking and being. We live this every single day. We haven't yet mastered this, but we are obviously a few steps ahead of maybe some people, and a few steps back of others, of course. But
Yes.
when
Yeah.
it comes down to it is that all we have to do is to just make that next step forward, whatever that is, knowing that we've created this, therefore we can uncreate it.
Yes. Yes. And I like that, you know, let's look at the next step. We don't have to see the whole journey, the whole route. We don't have to know everything now. Let's just shine the torch in the dark and see what the next step is, the next single step.
Yeah, and this is what scares people. You know, again, this is not a judgment, because there is the big bridge, and the bridge is the commitment. But people don't commit, even if when they do decide to make a change, they won't commit because of that. The big bridge, or the journey looks too big. They don't know what's going to happen next. They are uncertain of the outcome or the steps. But then if you were certain, if you knew, you would have done it already. So it wouldn't be something to get into.
Yes, there's no big deal to not know, is it? Because
Exactly.
that's kind of what life's been like all the way through. It's like, you know, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Well, actually, that's quite scary when you think about it. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but hang on a minute. I've lived for X number of years. That's the term I use for it now, X, and the numbers are getting a bit high. You know, it's never been any different. I've never ever known what was going to happen tomorrow. But, you know, 20 years ago, I didn't know what was going to happen the next day, but I'm still here to tell the tale now. So, you know, it's not, it shouldn't be, the unknown shouldn't, don't live in fear of the unknown, you know.
But if anything, it's an exciting an exciting prospect that we can create whatever it is. And
I like the sound of that.
And we gave the example of the head torch. You put the headlamp on, you can only see a few feet in front of you, and you go with that. You never think, oh my God, I can't see in the dark. What am I going to do? That's why you put the headlamp. Put the headlamp and take the next step. And as you keep taking steps, the path starts getting lighter and lighter, because you're going with the path as opposed to staying behind and worrying about the past, what's happened, what's not happened, and I can't do it because of whatever. So the commitment, so this is the second type of people who is committed to the past, unconsciously or consciously, past beliefs. And if we don't uncover these beliefs, they keep holding us all back all the time. And so there's that. And then there's people who is too busy committed to being in the future. They get anxious, and because they don't know what that future is, as we talked about it, fear of uncertainty, and you constantly feel of this anxiety of what might happen or might not happen, future pacing, and then you talk yourself out of the commitment that you can make, which means maybe you have to create the extra time, you have to become a different person, not in the core, but from the old habits that you've adopted. So it's commitment. Again, we need to change the interpretation we make of this word.
Yes. Yeah.
If I give you carry on.
Yeah. I was just thinking it's lots of people must be feeling they're just trapped into this way of life, and we get to this, but it is exciting that we can actually do something about it, and we really can sort out this, going around in circles, being trapped, whatever it is that we feel, we really can, there is a realistic mechanism for moving forward. That really is exciting. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah, it is. And give you a really solid example when it comes to coaching with me and working with me as a coach. People want it. People know that they need it. Perhaps sometimes they can't just make that next step, but they start making excuses, or it's not the right time, or I can't afford it, or this and that. All of that is, again, being committed to the past and being committed to where you are right now and your circumstances and your struggles, really, because that all you're really saying is that I continue to accept this struggle. I'm okay with the struggle because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Even though it isn't, and that brings us to the nail again.
And that's the nail. Yeah.
And all I can really say is that the fact that you are even in the verge of making that decision means that there is a part of you who knows that this is the right decision, but it's okay. You're scared. You're scared because you don't know what's going to happen. You're scared because everything is going to change, and that change scares people, even though change is constantly happening around us. Just because we are staying the same doesn't mean the change isn't happening. It's that us staying the same makes us feel comfortable, but it isn't, obviously. And that's why you are even wanting to go to the other side of the bridge over here, right there.
Very good. Yes.
To be in a different place. But it has to take something from you to get there. Because if you wanted to get there from where you are, you would have already been there. There's the
yes. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're not if you've got the clear path, the clear plan, you're just going to do it. So in a way, that brings back to another thing I was thinking. It's not a problem to be in the position that you're in. If people are thinking, oh gosh, I shouldn't, they're talking about, I can really hear them talking about me today, and I shouldn't be like this. That's not the case. We mustn't talk like you are where, you are in this position where however that is, good or bad or whatever, but there's no shame, I think is the word I'm looking for, in feeling frightened or disillusioned or whatever.
No, because
just be excited. You can change, you can change one small step at a time, and it's not going to be overnight or in the next 5 minutes, but you can take the first step fairly quickly, can't you, Chulai?
You can, and I think
you've got your mind, the awareness,
Exactly, and this is what I was going to say, to decouple it from themselves, from the situation, is that it's not your fault that you're feeling scared. It's your brain making you feel scared, and it's because of all the baggage that we've collected until you came here. And that baggage doesn't belong to you. It's not even your baggage. You don't have to carry it anymore. It doesn't belong to you. It's just a brain baggage, and the baggage that other people have put onto you. And the fact that you want to change means that you're ready to let that go right now.
Yeah. How many of us take that big bag, lump it down, say, there you go, what a relief.
Yeah.
And then off we go, we pick it up again and off we go.
Yeah. Well,
we can't leave it there. But yes, today is the day that we can. It all starts today, folks.
Yeah. And what does that show you, Ian? That you're committed to do struggling again, because we like
just
to
committed to taking the weight. Yeah.
Well, just a simple example. Look around you. People go onto the Facebook page of the city that we live in, the town that we live in. Oh, God forbid. The kind of stuff that goes on there. Plus, people continuously watching the news and getting involved with it and whatever. We want to struggle. We want to continue to struggle. Some of those struggles doesn't even pertain to us. Some may do, some may not. Most we can't even change, but we still like to bring ourselves into it and struggle with it.
Wow. What a thought. Yeah, it's real. Yeah,
it's real.
That, if you've never heard us talk before, we like to get to real. We like to talk real stuff here, because we know it can make a difference to people. And again, that's what we want to see. Chulai, the clock never seems to make any difference, because it never goes any slower. It never gives us more time to talk we want. We could go on for another couple of hours, of course, but there are plenty of other episodes for people to listen back to in the past, and there will be many to come in the future. So I think any final words for today, or are we done?
Yes, but a couple of final words. One is to summarize today's, the bridge between where you are and where you want to be is the commitment. But the commitment to what? That's what you really need to get to the bottom of. What is it you need to be committing to? And go back to the couple of weeks ago, the episode passion versus commitment. What's the difference? And we've really opened up and delved into the detail of what commitment means, and what does it mean from to take you where you want to be. What do you need to, not what do you even need to do, but who do you need to be first? Then what do you need to do as a result to get there?
Yeah, brilliant.
And that's what commitment is. Yeah.
And just being first and then doing. That's the thing.
Because if you're not being, you can't do this stuff.
No, that's right. I've grown up on doing. So this being first is a new concept to me, but it makes all the difference, and it's the right way around. That's what I say to my son. What do you want to be? Not what do you want to do after school and when you go out into the wide world. What do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? And then we'll find something to fit in with that.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And just to remind again everybody about the whole of the mini masterclass series I've been doing since the middle of September. Now we are on week 6. We've just finished week 6 on talking about the why we are still constantly achieving stuff yet still feel unfulfilled. That was a really good one. That was
Great.
last Tuesday.
Brilliant. Yeah,
And
yeah.
next Tuesday we're talking about overcoming uncertainty with the power of visualization. I know that lots of people will want to be on this. So go to the show notes and register your interest so we can either attend live or get the recording of that class. Okay.
Brilliant. Sounds really good, Tulay. The good stuff continues.
Yeah.
And we'll continue and we'll have another good chat next time. So thanks for the chat today.
Thank you. Bye.